Welcome to Finance Podcast, where we guide you to financial freedom.
Print on demand has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
I can see why it's so appealing.
Right. The whole idea of starting a business where you don't have to worry about inventory,
Yeah.
at least at the beginning, you know, it just seems like something that would be right up our alley.
Yeah. No, it definitely is.
And who knows, maybe we'll even find some inspiration along the way to finally launch our own print-on-demand empires.
You know, you never know. The barrier to entry is so low with print on demand, and I've seen some people do some pretty remarkable things with it.
Okay, now you've got my attention.
Yeah.
So before we go any further, can we just break down the basics? For anyone listening who might not be familiar with how this whole print-on-demand thing actually works,
Yeah.
can you walk us through it?
Yeah. So print on demand, it's essentially a business model where you, as the designer,
Okay.
you create a design and then you upload it to a platform like, say, Printify, Printful, Redbubble. There are tons of them out there. And then they handle everything else.
So they're like the silent business partner in the background.
Yeah, exactly. They're the silent business partner that handles all the printing, the shipping, the customer service, all that stuff. That can be a little bit of a headache.
Yeah, and especially when you're starting out,
Oh, for sure.
who wants to deal with that?
Right. You just want to focus on the creative.
Exactly. Focus on the designs, get those creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something interesting a minute ago. You said there are different platforms.
Yeah.
So there's not just one way to do this print-on-demand thing.
No. There are two main approaches, active and passive.
Oh, okay. So tell me more about this active versus passive print-on-demand.
Yeah. So active print on demand is kind of what it sounds like. You're more involved in the process. So this would be where you would say, create your own Shopify store.
Right. So you're building your own brand.
Yeah.
Like this is your website, this is your online store.
Yeah, you've got your own domain. You are really building that brand presence. And so you have a lot more control, but that also means you have a lot more responsibility.
Right, because you're in charge of driving all the traffic.
Exactly, yeah. You're responsible for the marketing. So whether that's running Facebook ads, doing email marketing, content marketing, all of that falls on you.
Okay, so for someone who's maybe just starting out and maybe isn't quite ready to build their own brand from scratch,
All right.
tell me a little bit more about this passive print on demand.
Yeah, so passive print on demand is a little bit more hands-off, and this is where you would use those third-party platforms that I was mentioning. So like Amazon Merch on Demand,
Okay.
Redbubble, Teespring, Society6, there are a whole bunch of them out there. And what's great about these platforms is that they already have a built-in audience.
You've already got the traffic.
Yeah,
Right.
so you just upload your designs,
Sure.
and then they take care of everything else. So they handle the listing, they handle the printing, the shipping, the customer service, and then you basically just collect royalties on every sale.
Oh, so that's where the passive income part comes in.
Exactly. Yeah, you can think of it as like a side hustle or just a way to dip your toes into the waters of entrepreneurship without, going all in right away.
Right. And I love that there are options because, some people are ready to jump in with both feet.
Totally.
And some people, like myself, we like to wade in slowly,
That's,
test the waters a bit.
test out the waters, see if it's the right fit.
Exactly.
And then if it is, then you can always transition into that more active approach.
Absolutely. Okay, but let's say, for argument's sake, that we are starting with that more passive approach.
Okay.
We want to test it out. We need to come up with some design ideas, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just a matter of slapping any old design on a t-shirt and hoping for the best.
No, you've got to be a little bit more strategic.
Okay.
And this is where niche selection really comes into play.
Niche selection. Okay, so what do you mean by that?
It's essentially finding your target audience
Right.
and figuring out what kind of designs they're actually looking for.
Doing a little bit of market research.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you even start designing.
Exactly, because you don't want to spend all this time creating this amazing design that nobody's actually interested in buying.
So what are some tools or strategies that we could use to get those creative juices flowing and to identify those hot in-demand niches?
Yeah, so there are a ton of different tools out there, but some of my favorites are Google Trends.
Google Trends.
That's a great way to see what people are searching for. Etsy search is another good one.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, because Etsy, they have so much data on what people are actually buying. And then even just scrolling through social media platforms like TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. You can find some pretty interesting trends on there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's where a lot of trends are born these days.
Right.
And so if you can kind of stay ahead of the curve and see what people are talking about, what they're interested in, that can give you some really great ideas for designs.
So you're almost like a trend detective.
Yeah, in a way.
Just trying to like sniff out what's about to be the next big thing.
For sure.
So we've got the tools, we're researching, we're finding our niche. Let's say we've done all that.
Yeah.
Now what?
Now it's time to design.
Time to design.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
You don't have to be a professional graphic designer to create successful print-on-demand designs.
Okay, because, full disclosure, my design skills are pretty limited.
Yeah, and you know what? That's okay.
Okay, good.
Because some of the best-selling print-on-demand designs are actually really simple.
Really?
Yeah, think like bold text, minimalist graphics, things that are easy to reproduce at a high quality. You don't want something super intricate that's going to get lost in translation.
Right, just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Bold.
Exactly. And the good news is that there are so many tools out there that make design accessible to everyone.
Okay, so like what? What kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, Canva is a great one.
Canva, yeah.
A lot of people have heard of Canva. It's free, it's user-friendly, they have tons of templates, so you don't even have to start from scratch if you don't want to.
You don't have to be a design wizard to figure it out.
Exactly. And then Adobe Spark is another good one that has a free version as well. And then, of course, you can always outsource.
Ah, okay, outsourcing, there we go.
Yeah, if you really...
Yeah, design is just not your zone of genius.
Right. Exactly.
You could always find someone to help you out.
Exactly. Fiverr's a great platform for that. You can find freelance designers who can create designs for you at really affordable rates.
Okay, so you've got options.
Mm-hmm.
You can DIY it, you can outsource it.
You can DIY it. Yeah.
So let's say we've got our designs, we've used our tools,
Yeah.
and now we're ready to get these babies out into the world.
Okay.
Where do we actually sell them?
Well, that depends on whether you're taking that active approach or the passive approach.
Okay.
If you're doing active print on demand, then you would sell through your own Shopify store. But if you're going the passive route, then you have a few different options.
Okay. Tell me more.
So Etsy is a great option for beginners.
Etsy, yeah.
A lot of people start on Etsy because it's relatively easy to set up a shop.
Okay.
And they already have a massive audience of shoppers who are looking for unique and handmade goods.
Right. It's like a built-in customer base.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have your dedicated print-on-demand platforms like Redbubble, Society6, Teespring, and those are great because they handle literally everything.
Yeah, and they have so many different product options.
Yeah.
So you can do t-shirts.
T-shirts, mugs, tote bags, phone cases, you name it, they probably have it.
Okay.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Amazon merch on demand.
Oh.
And Amazon obviously is the e-commerce giant.
They're a league of their own.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can get your designs in front of Amazon's massive audience, that can be a really lucrative platform.
So it seems like Etsy and Amazon are kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum in a way.
Yeah.
Etsy, maybe a little bit easier to get started.
More curated, yeah.
A little less competition, maybe.
Potentially.
Whereas Amazon, you're competing with a much larger pool of sellers.
Totally.
But the rewards could potentially be greater as well.
Exactly, because you're reaching a much wider audience.
So many options.
Yeah.
It's almost overwhelming, but in a good way.
I know, right?
Like you said, the barrier to entry is so low.
Yeah.
You could literally start this weekend
You really could.
if you wanted to.
Mm.
But I have a feeling that it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No.
There's got to be some challenges, some potential pitfalls along the way.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the biggest ones that I see people struggle with is analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis, okay.
Yeah, they get so caught up in researching every single detail,
Right?
trying to find the perfect niche, the perfect product, the perfect platform.
Trying to avoid making any mistakes.
Exactly. And they end up just procrastinating and never actually starting.
So they're so afraid of failing that they never actually even try.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, you're going to make mistakes. It's
Right.
part of the
Yeah,
process.
that's how you learn, right?
That's how you learn.
Trial and error.
Yeah. So the best advice I can give is to just start, even if it's not perfect. You can always adjust and refine as you go along.
So don't let perfection be the enemy of good,
Exactly.
or in this case, the enemy of progress.
Exactly.
All right, so analysis paralysis, definitely something to watch out for. Are there any other common mistakes that you see people making?
Yeah, another big one is being afraid of competition.
Okay.
So they see a niche that seems saturated
Right.
and they think, oh, there's no way I can compete in that market. But here's the thing. competition actually indicates demand.
So if other people are selling it, it means that there's a market for it.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it.
It means there are customers out there who are looking for that type of product. So instead of being afraid of competition, embrace it.
Right.
Because it means that you're on the right track.
You're in the right neighborhood at least.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got analysis paralysis, we've got fear of competition. What else? Give me one more.
Okay, the last one is trying to be everything to everyone.
So trying to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah. People think that they need to offer a million different products
Right.
to appeal to a wider audience, but what ends up happening is that they spread themselves too thin.
Right, so they're not really specializing in anything.
Exactly. And it's really hard to become known for something
Right.
if you're trying to do everything. So my advice would be to pick a niche, 1 or 2 niches max.
Okay, so be known for something.
Be known for something.
Become an expert in that area.
Yeah, exactly. And then really focus on creating high-quality products for that target audience.
So you're saying it's better to be a master of one than a jack of all trades.
Exactly. And once you've kind of mastered that niche, then you can always expand later on.
Okay, so start small,
Mm-hmm.
master it,
Mm-hmm.
and then scale from there.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's like building a house. You don't start with the roof.
Huh.
You start with the foundation.
Right, okay. So
Okay.
we've got our foundation. We're starting to build our print-on-demand business.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? How do we take this to the next level? How do we scale it?
Well, that's a great question.
And one that I'm sure we're going to dive into right after a quick break.
Scaling, right. It's like you've got your little sapling of a business,
Yeah.
and now you're figuring out how to help it grow into a mighty oak.
Exactly. So how do we do that? What are the secrets to scaling a print-on-demand business?
Well, first, you've got to get organized. Imagine you're listing like 100 products,
Yeah.
and you're doing every single listing manually.
Yeah, that sounds tedious.
That's a recipe for burnout, right? So, systematize, use templates, leverage the tools your platform offers.
So efficiency is key.
Efficiency is key. Now, here's a curveball. Think about limiting your customers' options.
Wait, really? I would
Yeah.
have thought more choices.
Sounds counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But too many choices can be overwhelming. Imagine trying to pick a t-shirt when there are like 50 colors and styles.
Okay, yeah, I'd probably just close the tab.
Exactly. Keep it simple, help the customer make a decision.
So streamlined selection equals happier customers, potentially more sales.
You got it. And speaking of sales, let's talk pricing strategy.
Oh, the million-dollar question. How do we find that sweet spot?
Got to cover your costs, right? Production, platform fees, marketing.
It all adds up.
But you also want a decent profit margin. Aim for at least 30%. Bundles, discounts for larger orders, those can be good too.
Incentives are always nice.
Exactly. Entice those customers. Now, once you've got your pricing down,
Okay.
it's time to shout about your products from the rooftops. Well, metaphorically speaking.
Marketing time. All right, hit me with your best strategies. What's working these days?
Organic reach is still king. Optimize your listings. Use relevant keywords.
So people can actually find our stuff.
Exactly. But don't underestimate social media. Those platforms are your free marketing tools.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to ignore the power of a viral TikTok video.
Exactly. Showcase your products, engage with your audience. You can even dabble in a little Facebook ads magic.
A sprinkle of Facebook ads never hurts.
Exactly. And here's the secret sauce. Email marketing.
Ah, yes. The good old email list. Why is it so powerful?
It's direct access to your customers. Keep them in the loop, offer exclusive deals, announce new products.
Build that relationship.
Exactly. And here's a thought. Why not offer both physical and digital products?
Okay, I'm intrigued. How would that work?
Think downloadable wall art, printable planners. Digital products can be great for lead generation.
Right, because someone might download a freebie
Exactly.
and be like, oh, I actually love this brand. I want to buy a t-shirt now.
You've got it. Diversify those income streams. All right, now let's talk tools, because working smart is just as important as working hard.
I am all about working smart. Give me the good stuff. What kind of tools are we talking about?
First things first. Choosing the right print provider is crucial. You need quality, reliability, fast turnaround times.
Especially with those holiday deadlines looming.
Exactly. You don't want to be stuck with a backlog of orders and unhappy customers.
No, definitely not. So speed and quality are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
What else? I have a feeling you've got more up your sleeve.
No.
Lay it on me. What other tools are out there that can make our lives easier?
Well, you absolutely have to explore the world of AI.
AI. Like robots making our designs?
Not exactly robots, but
Yeah.
AI tools are becoming so powerful you can use them for everything from generating design ideas to writing product descriptions.
Okay, hold on a second. AI can actually help me come up with designs.
It can. You can give it some keywords, tell it what you're going for, and bam,
Yeah.
it'll generate a bunch of different options.
Wow, that's incredible. I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical, but also very intrigued.
Oh, it's a game changer, for sure. And the best part is, a lot of these tools are becoming super user-friendly, even for someone like me who's not, a tech genius.
That's good to know. But you also mentioned using AI for product descriptions. Tell me more about that.
Sure. So we all know how important good SEO is, right?
Oh, yeah, getting those keywords in there.
Exactly. And AI can analyze top performing listings and basically tell you what keywords to use, what kind of language to use to really optimize your listings for search.
So it's like having a little SEO assistant working for me 24/7.
Pretty much. And let's be honest, writing product descriptions is nobody's favorite task.
It's definitely not the most exciting part of the process.
So why not let AI take care of it?
Okay, I'm officially on board with the AI thing. What else have you got?
Let's talk about saving some money, shall we?
Always down for that.
One thing I always recommend is using a cashback credit card for all your business expenses.
Okay, that's a no-brainer. Who doesn't love cashback?
Exactly. There are some great cards out there specifically designed for small businesses, and those cashback rewards can really add up.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have.
We talked about everything from finding your niche and creating designs to choosing the right platform and scaling your business. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are ready to dive headfirst into the world of print on demand?
Just go for it. Don't be afraid to experiment, try new things, and most importantly, have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, this is about building a business that you're passionate about, something that brings you joy.
I love that. It's all about finding that intersection between passion and profit.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. There's a whole community of print-on-demand entrepreneurs out there who are eager to support each other, share tips, and celebrate each other's successes.
That's what it's all about. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of print on demand. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, remember, you have the power to turn your creative dreams into a reality. So go out there, design something amazing, and who knows, maybe we'll be featuring your success story on a future episode. Until next time, happy designing.